Don't come for me, furries or whatever.
Hey guys, welcome. Welcome. What do I want to talk about? Okay, let me tell you what happened to me today, first and foremost. So, this is such a long-winded way of getting to the story, but I'm going to give you some background. So, my mom texted me early this morning and was like, hey, do you want to come to the arcade with, us and, your all the kids and stuff?
So I was like, sure, I'd love to do that. That would be super fun. Van and I would love to do that. Let's go to the arcade. And so we were like, oh, well, we have to be there. We're meeting there at a certain time. But we haven't gone to the gym yet. Should we just because our membership, we can go to the gyms all across our state, right? As long as it's the same business. Anyway, so we can go to any of the gyms that we have a membership to. So we're like, oh, well, let's just go to the gym that's right there next to the arcade instead of the one that's by our house. And we're like, that's a great idea. Fantastic. Now, I'm a little wary when it comes to going to a gym that's outside my comfort zone. I love my current home gym. The gym that is right next to where we live currently is an ideal gym to me. It's got the right hip thrust machine. It's got it's the right size. It's not so big that I feel like we're overcrowded half the time, but it's also not so small that we're it's just a perfect gym to me. Okay, and it's my comfort gym. I have friends there. It's my comfort gym. So already I was a little bit it's okay. We've been to this gym before. It'll be fine. I'm nervous. It's a different gym. So I walk in. I do my thing. About halfway through my workout. Now, most weightlifting days will take me about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how long I have to wait for something, or if I choose to wait for something, or whatever, right? And so I'm about halfway through, about 30 minutes in, and I'm on the abductor machine. Fantastic machine. Great machine. But one of the worst machines for someone to come up and talk to you on is the abductor machine. Two machines that I don't want to be talked to while I'm using is the abductor machine or the hip thrust machine. And also if I'm just hip thrusting in general, if I'm hip thrusting a bar, don't come up and talk to me while I'm doing that. It's awkward. It's weird. Anyway, so I'm mid-set on this, or between sets on this abductor machine, and this guy comes up to me, pulls his headphones off, and goes, and now I'm not paying attention. What I think he's going to say is how much longer, how many sets you have left. But he pulls his headphones off, and already I'm it's gonna be more. I just know it's gonna be more than that. He pulls his headphones off and goes, can I ask you something? And I was like, what? So I still have my headphones on. I was took mine off. I was like, what? And he's like, can I ask you something? And I was like, I guess, yeah, make it quick. And he's like, well, I wanted to tell you that you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I was like, well, thank you. That's what a compliment. And he was like, so are you from here? And I was like, yeah, I'm from the state. And he was like, so you come here every day? And it was that's so creepy. That is so two things. A little bit of a tangent. When people, mainly men, come up to me at the gym, it's usually at my home gym, and they'll say something like, I've seen you around here before, or I see you here a lot. That's their opener, right? Equally creepy in my opinion. Because what do you mean you're watching me? But also, whatever. I think it's way creepier to go, you come here every day? I'm not gonna tell you that. And if I really, this was my home gym, I did go there every day, I'd be switching up my routine after that. I would not be going there at that time anymore. No, thank you. Anyways, back to my story. She was like, you come here every day? And I said, no, actually, this isn't the usual gym. I said, me and my husband live elsewhere. That's what I said. And he goes, oh, he kind of puts his hand up. He's like, oh, married. And I went, yeah. married. I did that awkward, like, married, like, and he goes, oh, I'll leave you alone. I won't bother you. But, are you a bodybuilder? And I said, no. And he said, you do CrossFit? And I said, no. And he's like, oh, well, I just thought that because, and he like, I don't know how to describe this in audio format. This is why I need my video so bad. Which, side note, if you could see me right now, I'm in a t-shirt and I'm in fuzzy cat ear headband. Don't come for me, furries or whatever. But I'm in like a fuzzy cat ear headband that I used to wash my face. So, anyway, because it's like 9:30 p.m. Anyway, that's not the point. But I wish I could describe. He's like flexing essentially. He's like, oh, you're just so, and he's like flexing, and he's like, he like can't find the right word, and he lands on built. Because you're just so built. And I'm like, okay. I mean, thanks. I mean, hell yeah, because I'm not doing all that work for nothing. But also, I thought that was, I don't know, of all the, like, you're trying to pick up a woman and you go with built, I just think that was, like, kind of the wrong word. Not in my opinion, because I will take that as a compliment. But anyway, this is like, oh, thank you, thanks. Like, whatever, that's kind. And so he's like, I'll leave you alone, have a good day. I was like, oh yeah, you do, whatever. So he walks away. And 20 minutes later, I'm on my last exercise. So I'm looking around for Van. Because Van and I go to the gym together. But we do separate workouts. So I'm looking around for Van. And I'm like, is he on the treadmill? Usually he's on the treadmill. I know he's at the end of his workout. So I'm like looking over. I'm like looking, oh, I don't see him. Like I'm kind of like, just kind of like looking through the gym. And I see the guy who just hit on me 20 minutes ago actively talking to a woman who's like trying to walk away from him. And I was like, oh no. And I realized that the whole time that this whole hour that I had been like in this gym, you kind of take note of people, like you're paying attention to them, you kind of take note of people while you're there. I had not seen this man touch a dumbbell, a weight, a machine. Like, I had not seen him touch a single piece of workout equipment in the time that I was there. But he was wearing like a workout outfit, obviously, and lifting straps, like the kind you would use to like deadlift or whatever. And so I was like, that's so strange. So he's walking around with his lifting straps on, actively like, trying to pick up women in this gym. Like, that is so awkward. It is so awkward. And I've got, honestly, mixed opinions about this from people. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you are going to hit on someone, please don't let it be the gym. Please don't let it be the gym. And I know people have said this to me before when I have made this complaint. They'll say like, oh, you can't take it as a compliment. Like, you don't know, you don't enjoy when people tell you you're attractive. Like, that is all I'm saying. What I'm saying is the gym is a safe area. Like, stop disrupting the safety of my gym. Like, please, it is neutral territory. Leave me alone. Anyway, so that happened to me. Yeah, don't. And if I'm going to go a step further. If you absolutely have to hit on someone in the gym, don't do it while they're on a very awkward piece of equipment like the abductor machine or the hip thrust or anything of that nature. I'm just saying. Okay. Okay, so that's that story. The other thing I want to talk about, a little callback, if you recall. A while ago, I did an episode where one of the things I talked about, I don't think it's the main thing, but one of the things I talked about was social media marketing. So, like, big brands who were on TikTok and were making videos that were, like, on trend. They were using memes, and some were doing it really well, some were doing it not very well. And I kind of made this comment that at the very beginning, Duolingo did a really very good job of Gen Z marketing on TikTok. They knew it was relatable. They knew it was funny. They really built a following based on being entertaining and not for being a brand. And they were really good at it. And eventually they kind of got a little big for their britches. They kind of got a little like, oh, everybody loves us. We got to maintain that momentum. And they went a little too far. And then they became not relatable anymore. They became not funny anymore because they took themselves too seriously after that. And so, like, that was the most I had more or less seen of Duolingo until recently. About a week ago, I came across someone who was talking about this issue, and I don't remember who it was, but I have seen a bunch of people since then, so it wasn't just this creator. But Duolingo announced that all of their stuff, all of their apps, all of their, like, everything that they do will now be completely run by AI. So all of their, like, the functions that are things like you speak in the language, like you say something in the language and you get feedback, all of that is AI. And people really rejected this idea of, like, they called it lazy, essentially. Like, this idea that, oh, now your app is just completely AI. No one wants that, essentially. So people have completely dropped Duolingo. And people are like, oh, well, there goes my streak. Like, I'm never using Duolingo again. They lost a lot of following and they lost a lot of, like, support. And I guess just recently I found this out that they have completely, like, blacked out their TikTok. Like, all of their posts are gone. Like, they're just, like, at least as of recording this, I don't know if this is still true. You can go look it up and tell me. But they are, like, not on TikTok anymore. I think that account still exists, but I think it's, like, blank. Like, there's nothing there because they got such a harsh backlash from this AI thing. You have to remember that it was like one thing after another because they were already losing a following by not being, like, funny and relatable anymore. And then they were like, oh, this will fix it. Kids love AI. So they made their entire thing about AI. And everyone went, we don't want that. We very much reject that. And now they're just, like, rumbling, essentially. And whoever's doing their PR, I would say, is not doing a very good job. Because, like, to just black everything out and not make a statement or anything is kind of crazy. So okay, that's just kind of a little update. I thought that was interesting, especially after I had said that about Duolingo kind of going on a downward spiral with their marketing. So that was two very different but interesting topics, if you ask me. So yeah, that's kind of it. See you next week, I guess. Have a good week. Bye.